Today, the moon continues in Virgo, and we have that earthy mood of the day. So, thinking about getting hands on, working on something you can make better, repair, fix, improve upon, make more beautiful. That Virgo energy is inviting us to see, well, what can be better by seeing what's wrong. We also have today very interesting sort of double grand trine grand sextile energy that is formed briefly as that Virgo moon moves through the later degrees of Virgo, forming a grand trine with Pluto and Uranus, while we have a second grand trine. So that is a grand trine in Earth. Pluto, though, being in early Aquarius, so Earth and air kind of on that cusp. And then we have a second grand trine in water as the sun moves into those later degrees of Scorpio, forming a trine with Jupiter in Cancer and Saturn in Pisces. So the Jupiter Saturn trine is there, and the sun forms a trine to both, making a grand trine. Two grand trines makes a grand sextile. We'll talk a little bit about what that means. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro Vibe for Friday, November 14th. And so that grand trine energy that is going to be getting closer to exact as the day goes on. A grand sextile is a formation that includes a lot of easy flow of energy. So it includes a lot of trines, a lot of sextiles. Both trines and sextiles say, yeah, yes, go for it. There's a flow, there's support. You are going to have an easier time doing whatever it is you're doing. So if you want to be lazy and you don't want to put effort into something, maybe it's just going to work and you don't have to work hard for it. But the downside of that is that you are missing an opportunity to really go for and grab the things that you really want, because you have this supportive energy there, opening those doors, saying yes. So that's trines and sextiles. A grand sextile also has multiple oppositions. So we have the combined effect of this easy flow with with support, with the oppositional energy that pulls us in two different directions, says you have to make a choice between these two polarities. It is pulling us in different directions. It can feel very challenging. It can bring up conflict because we don't see how to reconcile two opposites. So those energies are very present as well. And with a grand sextile, things are unpredictable, right? All bets are off. Like there's a lot of opportunity. And so it's a moment when you want to step in and really stand for what you care about, ask for what you want in your life, speak up for what's important to you. And again, this is going to be both personally and collectively. So these opportunities are going to show up for each of us in a very specific, very personal way. And maybe very personal for you, but that energy is there as well in the world around us, in our communities. And so that is true at the same time. So all bets are off. And that means it's a great time to really ask for what you want, and pay attention, because there may be doors opening, there may be opportunities showing up, there may be some kind of support there that if you're not keeping your eyes open, or if you're kind of living in the past and going, yeah, that doesn't really exist anyway, you're going to miss that opportunity. So so it behooves us to really take advantage of these energies, because again, if we don't, they will just drift on by, right? And whatever happens will happen. But but it's that moment when we have really we're really building on this cradle formation, this double sextile energy that happens with the outer planets. So like I've been saying, those outer planets, Neptune in a sextile to Pluto, Uranus in a sextile to Neptune, Uranus in a trine to Pluto. This, because the outer planets move so slowly, this alignment is with us for several years. And that means it doesn't change. I mean, it does a little bit, but we have this as a background energy. And then as the inner planets and the faster moving planets and the in between planets like Jupiter and Saturn, you know, they're also outer planets, but they do move more quickly. So they form alignments with these double sextile planets as well. So that's what's happening, is that we have the double sextile, and then we have Jupiter in almost a third sextile and forming an opposition to Pluto, or almost, right? It just went retrograde. So it got very close to that, and now it's going retrograde, and it will, next year, it will fully move through that third sextile and that opposition to Pluto. So that forms a cradle, because that's three sextiles, which create kind of half of a six-pointed star, little bit more than half even. So it fills in 4 of the 6 points, but it's half the star, if that makes sense. Anyway, as the sun and today the moon move into points number 5 and 6, we have 6 points of a 6-pointed star, which means we have 2 triangles. If you as a kid ever drew a 6-pointed star by drawing one triangle and then drawing another triangle on top of it, that's what we have going on. And you can take 2 points of that star and draw a straight line from one point to the other that dissects the star in half, right? Those are the oppositions. So that is the energy. It is kind of an all bets are off energy. Like if you want something, do your intention setting, make your altar, whatever it is that speaks to you, and ask for what you want. Be clear about what's important to you, and don't be afraid to move on something, to take an action, to raise your hand when you see something that looks right to you, because it could be coming through in ways that are fairly unpredictable. So again, this is all going on with a Virgo moon. So we have that energy of needing to get something right. And refer back to my video from yesterday on that Virgo energy and why it's so important that we see ourselves as learning and growing and improving, rather than seeing ourselves as not worthy, not good enough, all those self-critical voices that we may or may not have. But if you have a tendency to those self-critical voices, this is a good time to reframe that. Not to say, you know, you're bad or you're wrong, because that just reinforces the belief, right? That you're not good enough. Oh, now I have this negative self-talk, so that must make me bad also. You see how it's a spiral, right? So instead of making yourself wrong, just step back, get curious, ask yourself, you know, is that really what I think? Where does that belief come from? So when we ask those deeper questions, we can open to these possibilities and potentials that this grand sextile is bringing. It is, again, you know, it's not completely exact depending on what kind of orbs you use and some of the planets, but it's pretty darn close. So these energies are definitely here with us, as is the Mercury retrograde energy taking us back through Sagittarius as we review and reconsider our thinking and our beliefs. And so that's kind of a theme for the next couple weeks or so. All right. Thank you for being here. I'm Marina Orms. You can book a reading with me, see how all these energies are activating your chart and your life and what is coming up for you personally. Book a reading at astrologyheals.com. And if you join as a member at my member site, transformationalastrology.com, you get 10% off on readings, guided meditations, and some of my classes and things. So you get member discounts, and such a great way to support what I am doing here. And so we can keep doing it together. I appreciate you. Thanks for being here and hitting that subscribe button if you haven't already. And I will see you next time with more astrology for unshakable self care. Bye for now.